44. At forward, at 6'7", number 8, at forward, at 6'6", number 25, at 7 feet, number 32.
So the opening lineup for the Timberwolves: McDaniels at the 3 with Randall at the 4. Dante DiVincenzo out there with Mike Conley. And it's Gobert in at center, filling out the middle. And for the Knicks, Anunoby plays the 4, and Cat is the center. Landry Shamet is out there with Jalen Brunson, and it's Bridges in at the 3. And this summer, the NBA owners approving the $1.5 billion sale of the Minnesota Timberwolves, Sean.
How about that? An absolute steal. We're never going to see a team sold for $1.5 billion again, BA. And when you see a team selling like that, it means more investments are coming. The Wolves play in the second oldest arena in the NBA, so I'm told getting a new one built over the next decade is the next order of business for the Timberwolves.
Feels like the right time for an up-and-coming team. They were almost there last season. Here's McDaniels. That's in. Coming off an assist from Randall.
That's about moving downhill with purpose. McDaniels puts it on the floor and makes the drive work.
And the Knicks with the possession here. All right, let's check in with Allie LaForce.
Well, Mike Brown had a few moments to share with me. Unsurprisingly, the conversation turned to Rudy Gobert. Let's be honest, he's scary, Coach said about the 7-footer. He hinted their strategy might involve trying to, quote, lure Rudy out of the paint so he's not there to slap away our layups. Maybe some tricky play here to try and push Gobert out of his comfort zone. Back over to you, Brian.
Great work, Allie. Thanks. 4 on the clock. The 3, DiVincenzo. Nice start for him. Sinking his first shot.
Oh, my goodness. Dante DiVincenzo from deep.
Pass to Towns. And we're about a minute and a half into the first quarter. Crafty move. Good D by Gobert.
Oh, he will kick himself for that one. That was a tremendous opportunity.
And the one thing you hear about in hoop circles, the weak link theory. You familiar, Charles?
Yeah, you know, it's an idea that to win nowadays, you can't have a weak link for the other team to expose. You need guys that can play both ends of the floor, guys that can play defense, guys that can also spread the floor, that aren't a liability on either end of the floor. So we saw that in the NBA Finals, two teams clearly stacked with guys who play both ends.
Now here's Anunoby. In his last outing, 16 points for him. And the basket by Bridges.
Well, we know this. Mikal Bridges has the length and hops to score inside. Nicely done.
DiVincenzo finds Randall. So it'll be 2 free throws. He was fouled in the act of shooting. It's going to be on OG Anunoby. He's got his first free throws of the night right here.
Something I remember from their last outing, he was excellent at the charity stripe.
And They drop some first. And Shams with younger teams like OKC taking the reins. New stars for fans to get acquainted with. Any concern there for the league?
You know, BA, I think the parity in all these young up-and-coming players is good, and it would probably be more of a concern if these young teams weren't as formidable. But listen, stars like LeBron James, Stephen Curry, Kevin Durant, they have had their heyday. You want to see that next generation of players ready to carry the mantle, whether that's Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Anthony Edwards, Luka Doncic, Cooper Flag, the list goes on.
Yeah, to me, it's always a great sign when the three ball is falling for Jordan Clarkson.
Pass to Gobert. Back to Conley. Oh, nice finish from the low block. That one's good.
And setting the tempo with an assertive move. Like, where was the defense on that play?
To me, that's a complete lack of communication on that side of the ball. These guys need to be talking to each other.
First quarter of play, and we're about 3 minutes in. Towns a screen on DiVincenzo. Here's Brunson. Oh, and there's the whistle on the shot. So 2 free throws for him coming up.
Jalen Brunson plays bigger than his size. He's aggressive. He's going to go right at defenders. He doesn't care if you're bigger than he is. He will keep coming at you.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
First free throw is good.
Boy, the maturation of Brunson is really special. This guy, phenomenal as scorer and facilitator.
And some changes here for New York. Yabusele, he's checked in for Anunoby. And it's Bridges in for Clarkson. Clark is checked in for the Timberwolves. Shannon comes in for DiVincenzo. Both free throws good from Brunson. Minnesota in the lead. Conley passes to Gobert. Back to Conley. Clark outside. Clark with the screen. Takes a 13-footer, and it's rebounded by Karl Anthony Towns. New York has gone 1 of 2 from three-point land so far. Here's Yabusele. A chance there to take the lead, but a miss. And here's Randall. He'll bring it up for the T-Wolves. First chance of the season for them to go up against this Knicks team. Randall draws the double. Just 2 seconds between the shot clock and the game clock. Gobert with a screen on Yabusele. And stolen by Brunson. Fast break. Here comes New York. 4 seconds left. Nice job filling the lanes and the terrific pass to hit him in stride.
We see this every night. He has the skill and versatility to keep a defense guessing.
So at the end of 1 quarter of play, still a close game. It's the Knicks leading by a point. Let's take a quick break, and then it's on to the second quarter after this. And it's been a pretty even game here after 1 quarter of play. All right, before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen from the Knicks?
Oh, what I love was that first quarter was all about leaking out and capitalizing in transition.
And why wouldn't they? You see their effectiveness in the open floor. Very difficult to slow down.
They've got Gershon Yabusele. Jordan Clarkson is out there with Mikal Bridges. Then it's Josh Hart. And it's Robinson in at the 5. That's the group for New York starting the second. Stolen by Reed. Pass to Miller. Over to the left wing. Here's Shannon. Off target with the 3. The Knicks with the lead. Clarkson outside. And here's Bridges. Outside Robinson. Shot clock at 5. Clarkson for 3. The Knicks keep it alive. And he lobs it up to the rim. And a big finish by Robinson.
Guys, he's such a big target. On the alley-oop, throw it up. Mr. Robinson, the only one in the building who can catch it and finish.
Timberwolves trail by 3. Trying to find a spark here.
Yes, indeed. A rough stretch offensively. They could really use a basket.
All right, let's get a report from Allie.
Thanks. Mikal Bridges is very comfortable with his mid-range and in-between game. He said when it comes to the basketball court, it's not just the rims and the threes. You have the rest of the court, too. Now, not everyone is effective with those middle-distance shots, but Mikal always has been. Guys?
He can knock him down. Thanks a lot, Allie. Checked in for New York. Shannon comes in for Clarkson, and Minnesota will go for a different look here. Gobert's checked in for Reed. Julius Randle comes in for Miller. Jaden McDaniels, he's checked in for Clark. And it's DiVincenzo in for Dillingham. A minute and a half gone in the second quarter. Here's Randle. Uses the glass on the layup, and the sense was the back half of this year's draft was a little thinner than normal. Why was that, Shams?
It's because the money is getting bigger and bigger in college basketball, and a lot of those potential late first or second round picks can just simply make more money in college than go to the NBA. So as these new rules start to regulate and the revenues potentially get shared more across the schools, potentially it normalizes a little bit. But these players in college are able to make essentially the NBA minimum, if not higher the NBA minimum, even as second round potential picks.
Good point. Gobert, that's good.
You love the touch from Rudy Gobert. He's put a ton of work into his offensive game.
New York trailing. Yabusele outside. 1:52 left in the first half of this game. The three, and it's Gobert with a rebound. The Timberwolves have gone 2 of 4 here in the second quarter. Randle can't hit.
Oh, he missed the chippy. What are the odds? That's so frustrating.
Pass to Bridges. Here's Towns. 6 to shoot. Back to Bridges. A minute 15 left in the first half. Offline from the top of the key. All right, Chums, we know you got to hop back on your phone in case you have to break any news. Thank you for being with us here tonight. Great stuff.
Happy to be here, BA. Thank you.
Well, that was fun having Shams sit in with us. I'll tell you what, if you're looking for the inside scoop, he's the guy.
So true. He's got his finger on the pulse of this entire league. If something's going down, you can count on him letting everybody know about it.
And so Mike Brown decides to call a timeout. He might have seen something and needs to review with his guys. All right, Doris, let's talk for a moment about Rudy Gobert's defensive IQ.
Let's begin, BA, with his communication on that end. It's an undervalued aspect of defensive performance. Then you talk about his ability to be a rim protector, to be able to rotate in defensive help. There is a reason he has won the Defensive Player of the Year as many times as he has.
for the Knicks. OG Anunoby comes in for Yabusele, and Brunson is subbed in for Hart. The Timberwolves also with a sub. Conley's checked in. "56 seconds left to play in the first half. Bridges passes to Brunson. DiVincenzo with the steal. Shoots over Bridges. Here's Randall. Pass to Conley. Oh, persistence pays off as they finally hit a shot. And the Timberwolves lead by 5. The Knicks have gotten nothing to go out of 5 attempts so far this quarter. Shannon passes to Brunson. Here's Towns. New York again can't hit.
This guy does not love to operate in the mid-range, and it showed right there.
Shot clock and game clock, 1 second differential. Outside, DiVincenzo. Pass to Randall, down to 5 on the shot clock. The shot won't fall.
Nothing more important than protecting the rim, folks, and that's exactly what they get.
And so a close game as we wrap up the first half of play. It's Minnesota up 5. And we'll be right back after halftime to get the third quarter underway.
Thanks for tuning in. Did you miss us? Before we discuss the game at hand, let's first check out the upcoming schedule.
Checking out New York. Crosstown rivals, you're both eating at the same restaurants, or you got that home cooking. Your family and friends are in the stands. Pride is on the line, along with some big emotions.
I'm getting strangely emotional just hearing you talk about it, Shaq. Kenny, can I have some of your tissues? And turning our attention to the first half, a positive start for the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Despite being the visitor, they've been in control. They've got an edge to their game. That can quiet a hostile crowd, Shaq.
Yeah, boos from the stands can be a motivator.
Thanks for tuning in. Now it's time to head back over to Brian Anderson for the start of the third quarter.
Second half of basketball is upon us, and we may be in for an exciting finish based on how close of a game we've seen so far. It's been quite a game for Donte DiVincenzo.
Yeah, even with the extra attention he's getting from the defenders, he's finding ways to excel.
Well, he knows they're coming for him, but he's accustomed to that kind of attention, and he's quite comfortable dealing with it.
Kicking off the second half, here's Chris Finch's 5. Randall and Gobert are in the middle. Mike Conley out there with Donte DiVincenzo. And it's McDaniels in at the small forward position. All right, Doris, for the Knicks, would you run a 2-man with Brunson and Cat or stagger their minutes?
BA, I think the answer is you do both, obviously. But if you stagger it, it's because of what they're not doing on the defensive end. Teams will target Brunson and Cat because they are not elite defensive players. But at the same time, they are both elite offensive players. And there will be moments, particularly late game, where you want your best players on the floor. So the answer is both.
And let's swing it over to the sideline and hear from Allie.
Hey, BA. The Knicks are able to play 5 out. And Josh Hart told me they surrounded Jalen Brunson with guys who can shoot, guys that command attention. He's able to expose that, scoring the ball and being unselfish. The court is wide open. Back to you guys.
Tons of spacing. Allie, thanks for the report.
Oh, such an impressive athlete. Mr. McDaniels, send it in.
They need something good to happen here.
Yeah, they've gone way too long without a score.
Now here's Towns. That shot off the mark. Ooh, great D that time from Gobert. Pass to DiVincenzo. Outside McDaniels. Now here's Gobert. Outside Conley. Picked by Gobert. Lets the three fly. Inside, Gobert puts it in.
We always know this has been a strength of Rudy Gobert, getting the offensive window. Nicely done.
And offensive rebounding, one of Rudy Gobert's specialties, Grant.
Yeah, in some games, over half his points come from second chance opportunities. And you know, B.A., even when you block him out, he can reach right over you and get that board.
And that one's good, Brunson.
Boy, that is nothing but pure basketball skill from Jalen Brunson. When he touches the paint, that craftiness comes into play.
And Chris Finch wants a timeout. He's going to take a minute to regroup with his players. Marks checked in for New York. The Timberwolves also with a sub. Reed's checked in for Julius Randle. A little over 2.5 minutes off the clock in this final half of play. Outside McDaniels. Reed, a screen on Anunoby. Oh, he goes up high for the two-handed slam.
And just a great screen.
And they got a high-powered finish out of it.
And my question is, where was the help? Someone rotate over and challenge.
Bridges outside. New York working the ball around now. Hart finds Bridges. And here's Brunson from the arc. McDaniels with the rebound. The Timberwolves lead by 7. Outside, DiVincenzo. And the officials signal the backcourt violation. Not careful there. And some changes here for New York. Robinson, he's checked in for Towns. And Gershon Yabusele subbed in for Anunoby. And then for Minnesota, Freeman, he's checked in for Gobert. Clark comes in for McDaniels. Shannon comes in for DiVincenzo. Brunson against Conley. Yabusele a screen on Conley. And it's Brunson missing.
Nice rebound. Trying to match the other team's intensity right now.
And stolen by Bridges. 1 second separating the shot clock and the game clock. To the wing, right side. Brunson against Clark. Now here's Brunson. He's covered closely. That shot missing.
He's got a great defensive mind. He gets good position and affects the release.
And he did it without fouling, and that's become an art, changing shots without making contact.
And so it's the Minnesota Timberwolves closing out the quarter with a 7-point lead. They've done well to disrupt the opposition, playing inspired defense. More NBA on 2K Sports right after this. Moment now as we take a look at our State Farm assist of the game.
Yeah, just shredding the defense with that feed. Zero chance to stop that.
Well, that's what a great pass will do, right? You love the unselfish play.
Fourth quarter action is upon us. Thanks as always for joining us. Gershon Yabusele out there with Josh Hart. Then it's Karl Anthony Towns. And then it's Landry Shamet. And it's Clarkson in at the 2. So that's who's on the floor for the Knicks.
Towns has said he believes he's the greatest shooting big ever. That's how confident he is.
Minnesota leading by 4. Here's Dillingham. Pass to Shannon. Outside Reed. The 3 on target from range. Reed's gotten himself going here. His first points of the game on the deep ball. And here's Yabusele. Clarkson outside. The rebound by Shannon. And for Minnesota, they're shooting 46%, a decent average so far. A few possessions into the fourth, just over a minute played. Knicks trail by 7. Oh, putting in work inside.
Zero rim protection. Unforgivable in a tight ball game like this.
You know, we've talked about execution offensively coming down the stretch. To me, it's as important defensively, and they didn't have it.
And Chris Finch calls timeout here. He wants to make sure everyone is aligned, given the situation right now. Changes here for New York. Anunoby, he's checked in for Yabusele. Mikal Bridges comes in for Hart. And it's Jalen Brunson in for Clarkson. And Minnesota will go for a different look here. Gobert's checked in for Reed. McDaniels comes in for Clark. Conley's checked in for Shannon. And it's DiVincenzo in for Dillingham. A moment to hear from Allie LaForce.
I was able to listen in on what Chris Finch was going over with his team. He cautioned his guys against forcing things at the arc, saying we can't make a rhythm happen, so don't force it. Take what is coming to you out there. Coach hoping for a renewed offensive focus going forward, guys.
Okay, thanks, Allie. Knicks trail by 5. Now here's Brunson. Here's Shamet. He's guarded by Conley. Clock is at 3. Brunson. And Brunson won't miss many of those.
What a confident stroke from Jalen Brunson. This guy doesn't have to dominate with the ball in his hands.
Outside Conley. Now Randall. Gobert with a screen on Anunoby. Here's Gobert. Yes! Using that window.
Rudy Gobert is so competitive. Doesn't want to let a big moment go by. Nicely done.
Brunson against DiVincenzo. Now here's Brunson. Defense is right there. Oh! Touches it off the glass.
One of the best clutch players in the entire league. Step up, Mr. Jalen Brunson.
Now Conley. Randall inside. Anunoby covering. Nice! That was good.
Julius Randle under tremendous pressure with the big bucket.
And so it's Brunson with it. He brings it up for New York. Trailing by 4. On the take, Brunson. Gobert pulls it down. The Timberwolves have gone 3 of 4 in the 4th and looking confident on offense. Here's DiVincenzo. Oh, he goes to the glass with that one.
DiVincenzo is fearless. I don't care what time of the game it is. Big bucket to be had. Yes, sir.
And we'll have a timeout called by Mike Brown. Great time to call his guys into the huddle at a very tense moment in this game. Cashes it in.
High percentage look. You can't ask for much more than that.
31-27.
And an intentional foul right there.
Jalen Brunson. First personal foul. First team foul.
Brunson with a double team. DiVincenzo against Brunson. And that's an intentional foul.
Anthony Towns. First personal foul. Second team foul.
And he cannot get the first one to drop. Tough one to miss. And he's able to hit the second one. And that puts him up 5. This might be a turning point.
Massive possession here.
Now 8 seconds separating the 2 clocks. Nails it!
Oh, needing a bucket there. Towns doesn't hesitate.
Timberwolves lead 32-29.
And they're going to prolong the game with an intentional foul.
Yeah, no choice but to foul in that situation. Although, that's not the guy you want to send to the free throw line.
So the first one drops, and that gives them a 4-point cushion. Second one is good, getting both at the line. And it's a 5-point game.
Yeah, the crucial part of those free throws is that it now makes it a 2-possession game.
Shoots a three. The triple drop.
Big time shot, sending his teammates into a frenzy.
I'll tell you, these guys have worked so hard together. Everyone pulling in the same direction. Beautiful to watch.
Yeah, and that was a smart move. I mean, you have to foul right there. You just don't want them to run out the clock.
And no good, as the first free throw misses. We'll see if he can hit the second. And the second of two is good. And that makes it a 3-point lead. And here's New York now.
And there's only one option. They need a triple.
You've got to keep your composure and execute to get a quality look from three.
And they need to stop the clock, so there's the foul. First free throw is good. And that gives them a 4-point cushion.
Two shots.
And so both free throws good. And it's a 5-point game.
Well, just a great job there. He put the game out of reach.
Beyond the arc. Oh, it doesn't go. So it's Minnesota picking up the win. And they barely squeezed out the win here on the road.
And BA, the visiting team is always under some added pressure. But they made it work and got the win, whatever the margin may have been.
Let's send it courtside and check in with Allie LaForce. Allie, what do you have?
Dante, you won state titles in high school, 2 national titles at Villanova, and now a growing role in the NBA. What has been the secret to your success?
It's my ability to adapt. Different teams, different dynamics of different teams, and just my ability to adapt to that team and fit.
Sky's the limit, guys.
All right, Allie, good stuff there. Thanks for that. Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now. For Allie LaForce, Doris Burke, and Grant Hill, this is Brian Anderson alongside our 2K Sports crew, thanking you for watching. And we'll see you next time.